How do we know whether we're in time or not? Well, we play to a metronome. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. The metronome is the easiest way to tell whether you're in time or not, because you get a loud, high-pitched note on every one. So I know that can be a little annoying at first, but trust me, you will get used to it. And I highly recommend you get used to it as soon as possible. So the obvious benefit is that you know where the one is, or that you hear where the one is. So let's say you play a groove and then you play a flashy fill that you just learned and you crash back into the beat, but then you realize you're not on the one because the high-pitched note is now on the 2 or the 3. The other thing is, if you continue to practice to a metronome, your grooves will start to sound more even, so you're less likely to speed up or slow down the groove. There are countless exercises you can do with the metronome, so if you're just starting out, try setting it to a 16th note or 8th note click instead of a quarter note click, because that gives you more reference points and it's less likely that you speed up or slow down in between the quarter note clicks. Once you're comfortable with the quarter note click, you can start using gap clicks. So maybe 3 bars of click, 1 bar of silence, or 6 bars of click and 2 bars of silence. And then eventually you set the metronome to just click on the 1 of every bar. So with those gap click exercises, you start slowly working on your internal clock. Because you started out with the metronome, which, if you will, is your external clock, because that's the easiest way to get you going. But then it's also important to work on your internal clock so that you don't become reliable on just playing to a metronome and you're not able to play without it. So there's always this balance between the external and the internal clock, and you should be able to get both of them running pretty well. Especially as a drummer, you will get into trouble in the long run if you're not able to play to a click track. Maybe you're playing in a band that uses backing tracks for some of their songs. So the only way to make sure that those backing tracks are heard at the right time is to play the whole song to a click. Another thing you can do to really work on your internal clock is to count out loud to everything that you play. This will be really difficult at first, but it's very, very helpful, especially if you're learning more complex grooves and fills. What's also really helpful to do if you're learning complex fills is to get your left foot going on the quarter notes. So to summarize, work on your external clock, so set your metronome to 16th note clicks, 8th note clicks, quarter note clicks and gap clicks. Work on your internal clock by counting out loud and try getting your left foot going on the quarter notes when learning complex fills. The good thing nowadays is that metronomes are really cheap. You basically can get free versions for any mobile device, or you can pay $5 and get a really, really advanced metronome that can do anything you can possibly think of. So there are really no reasons to not practice to a metronome. So get yourself a metronome and start practicing.